Hi, my name is Rose, and I'm 25 years old. I live with my dad and my older sister, Amanda, who's 29. Amanda has always been the favorite in our family. She's smart, successful, and knows how to make dad happy.
Me?
I'm the quiet one who does all the chores, runs errands, and helps out whenever needed. 2 weeks ago, Amanda announced she was planning a big family trip to Hawaii. At first, I was excited, thinking I'd finally get to relax and have fun with them. But Amanda had other ideas. We've decided, Amanda said with a smug smile, that you'll stay home while Dad and I go to Hawaii. Someone needs to take care of the house. I stared at her, confused. Wait, I'm not invited. Amanda rolled her eyes. Rose, it's not about being invited. Someone has to keep things running here. You're good at that. Dad, sitting nearby, nodded. It's only for a week, Rose. Be reasonable. Be reasonable? I had spent years putting their needs before mine, always stepping aside while Amanda got the spotlight. Now, they expected me to be their housekeeper while they sipped drinks on a beach? That's not fair, I said, my voice shaking. I work hard too. I deserve a vacation, just as much as you do. Amanda laughed, like I'd said something ridiculous. Rose, you wouldn't even know what to do on a trip like this. It's expensive, and honestly, you'd feel out of place. Her words hurt, but I didn't want to show it. Instead, I went to my room, feeling ignored and unimportant. That night, as I lay in bed, I replayed the conversation over and over. They really didn't care about me. But then an idea hit me. I grabbed my phone and texted Ryan, my boyfriend. Ryan was kind, supportive, and, well, a billionaire. His money didn't matter to me, but he had the means to help me escape this situation. Ryan, I typed. Amanda and Dad are going to Hawaii without me. They expect me to stay home and take care of everything. I'm so frustrated. His reply came quickly. That's ridiculous. Pack your bags. I'll take you to Hawaii myself. My heart raced. Was he serious? The more I thought about it, the more I realized I wanted to go. I wanted to prove I wasn't just the quiet sister who stayed behind. Are you sure? I asked. Absolutely, he replied. I'll send the jet tomorrow morning. A private jet. Ryan had one, and he was offering to take me on the trip of a lifetime. I smiled, imagining Amanda and Dad's faces when they found out. The next morning, I packed my bag quietly. Amanda and Dad were busy planning their own trip, too caught up to notice what I was doing. At breakfast, Amanda smirked at me. Make sure the house is spotless while we're gone, Rose. Don't forget to water my plants. I didn't respond, biting my tongue. If only she knew what I was planning. By 10 a.m., I got a text from Ryan. Plane's ready. I'll pick you up in 30 minutes. I grabbed my bag and headed for the door. Dad saw me as I was leaving. Where are you going? He asked, frowning. I'm going on a trip too, I said calmly. He laughed like it was a joke. Don't be silly, Rose. You're staying here. Amanda and I leave in a few hours. I stood my ground. I'm not staying.
I've made my own plans.
Before he could say another word, I walked out the door. Ryan was waiting for me in his car, looking as confident as ever. You ready? He asked with a smile, taking my bag. More than ready, I said, glancing back at the house. Dad was at the window, staring at us in shock. For once, I didn't care what he thought. The drive to the airport was quick. When I stepped onto Ryan's private jet, I couldn't believe my eyes. Everything was luxurious, from the seats to the service. As we took off, I felt a sense of freedom I'd never known. This isn't just about the trip, I thought. It's about showing them I won't be pushed aside anymore. Ryan smiled at me. You deserve this, Rose. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I smiled, feeling a warmth in my chest that I hadn't felt in a long time.
Thank you, Ryan.
I don't know what I'd do without you. You don't have to thank me, he said, leaning closer with a reassuring smile. This is just the beginning. When we landed in Hawaii, I was in awe. The crystal clear waters, the golden sand, and the lush green mountains looked like something out of a dream. Ryan had booked us a private villa overlooking the beach, complete with its own pool and a personal chef. As we settled in, Ryan handed me a pair of sunglasses and grinned. Want to explore the resort? Absolutely, I said, eager to see more. We hadn't walked far when I spotted a familiar figure by the pool. It was Amanda. She was lounging on a chair with a cocktail in her hand, chatting loudly with some strangers. My heart raced. I hadn't planned on running into her so soon, but part of me was eager to see her reaction. When Amanda finally noticed me, her jaw dropped. Her eyes darted to Ryan, then back to me, as if she couldn't believe what she was seeing. Rose? What were you doing here? She stammered, standing up so quickly she spilled her drink. I smiled, keeping my voice calm. Oh, didn't I mention? I decided to take a trip to Hawaii too. Her face turned red, a mix of embarrassment and anger. But how? You can't afford this. Ryan stepped forward, his presence commanding attention. She didn't have to. I took care of everything. Amanda stared at him, realization dawning on her face. Wait, the Ryan Carter? The Ryan Carter? That's me, Ryan said with a polite smile. Rose and I have been seeing each other for a while. I couldn't hide my grin as I watched Amanda struggle to process what was happening. For the first time in my life, I had the upper hand, and it felt incredible. Amanda stood frozen, her expression shifting from shock to poorly disguised envy. I could almost see the gears turning in her head as she tried to figure out how to spin the situation. Well, this is unexpected, Amanda said, forcing a smile. I didn't know you had such connections, Rose. I raised an eyebrow, refusing to take the bait. There's a lot you don't know about me, Amanda. Ryan, ever the gentleman, stepped in. If you'll excuse us, we were just about to grab lunch. It was nice seeing you, Amanda. Amanda's eyes narrowed slightly, but she plastered on another fake smile. Of course. Enjoy your meal. As we walked away, I could feel her glare burning into my back. Part of me wanted to revel in her discomfort, but I knew Amanda well enough to know she wouldn't let this go so easily. Later that evening, Ryan and I attended a private dinner at the resort's exclusive rooftop restaurant. The view of the sunset over the ocean was breathtaking, and for the first time in years, I felt truly happy. But as always, Amanda had to make an appearance. She walked in with Dad, who looked equally stunned to see me. Amanda, however, had clearly spent the afternoon rehearsing her lines. Rose, she said sweetly, approaching our table. Dad and I were just talking about how nice it is that you're here. We should do something together, like old times. I set my fork down, meeting her gaze. Old times? You mean the times when I was left behind to clean up after everyone? Amanda's smile faltered, but she quickly recovered. Come on, Rose, don't be like that. You know we've always cared about you. Ryan, sensing my frustration, placed a reassuring hand on mine. Rose doesn't owe anyone an explanation. She's here to enjoy herself, just like everyone else. Dad finally spoke up, his voice gruff. Rose, I don't know how you managed all this, but don't you think it's a bit much? A private jet? A villa?
This isn't you.
I felt my anger rise, but I kept my voice steady. No, Dad. This is me. The part of me you've always ignored because you were too busy catering to Amanda. Dad looked taken aback, but Amanda wasn't done. Rose, don't turn this into a scene. Let's talk privately. No, I said firmly, standing up. I'm done being dismissed and talked down to. You two can enjoy your trip, but I'm not here to play along with your games anymore. With that, I grabbed my purse and Ryan and I left the restaurant. I could feel Amanda and Dad's stunned stares following us as we walked away, but for once, I didn't care. The next morning, Amanda showed up uninvited at our villa. Ryan was out making arrangements for a surprise, so I was alone when she arrived. Rose, we need to talk, Amanda said, her tone unusually serious. I crossed my arms. What is it now? Amanda hesitated, then sighed dramatically. Look, I'll admit I've been hard on you, but you have to understand. Dad and I were just trying to protect you. We didn't think you were ready for, well, this kind of lifestyle. Protect me? I repeated, incredulous. You mean control me? Her face tightened, but she pressed on. Fine, maybe we made mistakes. But now you've got this amazing opportunity. Ryan, he's wealthy, successful. You could really build something with him. I narrowed my eyes, sensing where this was going. What are you trying to say, Amanda? She shifted uncomfortably before blurting out. Just don't mess it up. You don't have the experience to handle someone like him. If you're not careful, you'll end up alone. I laughed, unable to stop myself. Thanks for the advice, Amanda, but I think I'll manage just fine. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have better things to do than listen to your fake concern. I shut the door in her face, leaving her standing there, fuming. It felt good to finally stand up for myself. That evening, Ryan took me on a sunset yacht cruise. As the golden light reflected off the waves, he turned to me with a soft smile. Rose, he said, taking my hands in his. You've been through so much, and yet you've stayed kind, strong, and genuine. I can't imagine my life without you. Before I could, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. Opening it, he revealed a stunning diamond ring. Will you marry me? He asked. Tears filled my eyes as I nodded. Yes, Ryan. 1,000 times yes. As he slipped the ring onto my finger, a wave of emotions washed over me. Happiness, gratitude, and, most of all, a newfound sense of worth. For the first time, I wasn't just someone's shadow. I was Rose, and I was ready to take on the world. News of my engagement spread quickly, thanks to Ryan's status. It didn't take long for Amanda to find out, and predictably, she wasn't happy about it. I expected her to sulk or make snide comments, but Amanda had something else up her sleeve. 2 days after the proposal, she invited Ryan and me to a family dinner at a fancy restaurant in Honolulu. My first instinct was to decline, but Ryan encouraged me to go. Maybe it's her way of making peace, he said. I wasn't so sure, but I agreed. When we arrived, Amanda greeted us with an exaggerated smile. Rose, Ryan, I'm so glad you could make it. Tonight is about family. The words felt forced, but I played along. Thanks for inviting us, I said, trying to keep the peace. Dinner started uneventfully, but it didn't take long for Amanda to steer the conversation in a predictable direction. So, Ryan, she said, swirling her wine glass. What's it like managing such a massive fortune? I imagine it takes a lot of trust. Ryan, ever the gentleman, answered politely. It does. But trust isn't something I give lightly. Amanda's eyes flicked to me, a sly smile playing on her lips. And Rose, how do you feel about all this? It must be overwhelming, stepping into such a glamorous life. I met her gaze, refusing to take the bait. I'm happy, Amanda. Ryan and I make a great team. Amanda leaned back, clearly annoyed that I wasn't rising to her provocation. But she wasn't done. As dessert was served, Amanda suddenly leaned forward, her tone turning serious. Rose, there's something I need to say. I've been hesitant, but I think Ryan deserves to know. My heart sank. What are you talking about? She took a dramatic sip of her wine before continuing. Rose hasn't always been honest. Back home, she borrowed money from me and never paid it back. Thousands of dollars. She sighed, feigning reluctance. Ryan, I didn't want to bring it up, but I thought you should know. My jaw dropped. This was a complete lie. I had never borrowed money from Amanda. If anything, it was the other way around. Ryan frowned, glancing at me. Rose, I shook my head, my voice firm. That's not true, Amanda. You're lying. Amanda feigned surprise. Oh, come on, Rose. Don't pretend you've forgotten. I kept quiet because I didn't want to embarrass you. But I can't stay silent anymore. I looked at Ryan, my heart pounding. Ryan, she's making this up. She's just trying to create problems between us. Ryan reached for my hand, his expression calm. I believe you, Rose. Then he turned to Amanda. This isn't the time or place for false accusations. Amanda's face flushed with anger, but before she could respond, Dad chimed in. Amanda, enough. This is ridiculous. It was the first time I'd ever heard him defend me, and it took me by surprise. Amanda, however, was visibly furious. She stood abruptly, knocking her chair over. You'll regret this, she hissed before storming out of the restaurant. The next morning, Ryan received a call from his legal team. Apparently, someone had tried to leak false rumors about him to the press, claiming he was involved in shady business deals. The source? Amanda. Ryan handled the situation swiftly, and within hours, her scheme was exposed. When confronted, she doubled down, claiming she was only trying to protect me. "I thought he was using you," she shouted when I confronted her. "By lying and trying to ruin his reputation?" I shot back. "You don't care about me, Amanda. You've never cared about anyone but yourself." Amanda didn't respond, and for the first time, I saw something like regret in her eyes. But it was too late. Ryan made it clear that we were cutting ties with her for good. The rest of the trip was blissful. Ryan and I enjoyed every moment together, free from the drama Amanda had tried to create. When we returned home, I made a decision. I wasn't going to let my family hold me back anymore. Amanda's schemes and Dad's favoritism had no place in my future. Ryan and I began planning our wedding, and I focused on building a life filled with love and respect. For the first time, I felt like I was truly living for myself, not for the approval of others. As for Amanda, she eventually reached out, apologizing for her actions. But I knew better than to let her back into my life. Some people only change when they have no other choice. And I wasn't going to wait around for that. I had finally found my voice, and I wasn't about to lose it again.